Professor Zixthalen's crystalline appendages trembled as she reviewed the class roster for the third time that morning. The Galactic Educational Exchange Program had finally approved Earth students for advanced xenobiology coursework, a decision that had sent ripples of concern throughout the academic community of Kepler Station. The classroom fell silent as 23 alien students from 12 different species shifted nervously in their adaptive seating. Word had spread quickly. Through the dormitories, the Deathworlders were coming. Zixthalen had taught comparative biology for over 2 centuries, but never had she encountered beings from a Class 12 death world. Earth's reputation preceded its inhabitants, a planet of constant natural disasters, predators that hunted for sport rather than necessity, and gravity that could crush most civilized species. The humans who somehow thrived in such conditions were the stuff of whispered legends and cautionary tales. The door chimed softly, and 3 figures stepped inside. Zixthalen's auxiliary hearts skipped in unison. The humans were smaller than expected, the tallest barely reaching the average height of a Centaurian adolescent. But there was something in their movement, a fluid grace that spoke of coiled power. Their binocular eyes swept the room with predatory awareness that made several Flixians instinctively activate their camouflage reflexes. "Sorry we're late, Professor," said the female human, her voice carrying easily across the room without. Technological amplification, another Deathworlder trait that unnerved the class. "I'm Sarah Chen, and these are my classmates Marcus Johnson and Elena Vasquez. We're excited to be here." Excited. Not terrified, anxious, or even cautious. Excited. Zixthalen marveled at the apparent fearlessness of these creatures as they selected seats near the back of the classroom. Several students immediately relocated to the opposite side of the room. "Very well," Zixthalen began, her voice synthesizer struggling to maintain its usual calm modulation. "Today we'll be examining the adaptation mechanisms of species from high-stress environments. Perhaps our new students could share some insights about Earth's ecosystem." The human called Marcus leaned forward with what Zixthalen's cultural database identified as enthusiasm. "Earth has some pretty intense environments. We've got deserts where the temperature swings 100 degrees between day and night, Arctic, regions that stay below freezing for months, and ocean trenches with pressure that would implode most spacecraft." A collective shudder ran through the class. Thaka, a methane-breathing Titan colonist, spoke up with trembling vocal cords. "How do your people survive such conditions?" Elena smiled, an expression that revealed her species' omnivorous dental configuration. "We adapt. Humans have lived in pretty much every environment on Earth. We build shelters, make tools, work together. Plus, our bodies are pretty resilient." "Resilient?" squeaked Piplon, a delicate crystalline being from a low-gravity world. "But you're so soft, so vulnerable-looking." Sarah laughed, a sound that several students interpreted as a predatory call. Looks can be deceiving. Our soft tissues are actually advantages. They're flexible, they heal quickly, and they can absorb impact without shattering. She demonstrated by pressing her finger against the desk, showing how her skin compressed and returned to normal. "And we've got redundant systems. Lose a kidney? No problem, the other one picks up the slack. Damage to our circulation? Our bodies reroute the flow." Zixthalen found herself genuinely intrigued. "What about the psychological stress of living in such dangerous conditions?" Marcus exchanged glances with his companions. "I guess we don't really think of it as dangerous. It's just home. We've evolved to handle stress, to find solutions under pressure. Some of our best innovations come from crisis situations." To demonstrate, Elena pulled out a simple multi-tool from her pocket. This was originally designed by someone stuck in a survival situation. Now every human carries something like it. We're good at making the best of bad situations. As the class continued, something remarkable happened. The initial fear began to give way to fascination. When Zixthalin introduced a theoretical scenario about surviving on a hostile planet, the human students didn't just provide answers, they provided hope. "The key is working together," Sarah explained as she outlined a survival strategy that accounted for the unique needs of different species. Humans learned early that cooperation increases everyone's chances. We protect the group, and the group protects us. By the end of the class, the Ka was asking detailed questions about human engineering solutions. Piplon was marveling at human regenerative capabilities. Even the most nervous students had moved closer, drawn by the humans' genuine enthusiasm for problem solving. As the students filed out, chattering excitedly about the lesson, one of the Altarian students approached the humans hesitantly. "I was wondering, would you perhaps be willing to join our study group? We're examining colonial adaptation strategies, and your perspective would be invaluable." Elena beamed. "We'd love to. Just remember to keep the environmental controls comfortable for everyone. We can handle pretty much anything, but we want our friends to be comfortable too." Watching them leave, Zixthalin realized that the academic community had fundamentally misunderstood what made Deathworlders dangerous. It wasn't their strength, their resilience, or their predatory instincts. It was their hope, their unshakable belief that any problem could be solved, any challenge overcome, any environment tamed, not through conquest, but through cooperation. The humans hadn't brought fear to the classroom. They had brought something far more powerful: the conviction that together they could all survive and thrive no matter what the galaxy threw at them. As she prepared for her next class, Zixthalin found herself looking forward to seeing what other impossible things these remarkable Deathworlders would teach them all.